All right, how's everybody doing out there? This is Mr. Muscarella, and I'm going to try to explain to you the phenomenon known as student grades and talk a little bit about Phoenix, Schoology, and all the syncing things that are going on. Now, in LCPS, Phoenix is the official gradebook for LCPS. So on the parent side, you will look at parent view on the parent guardian side, and then students will look at student view, and these are often abbreviated by P view for parent view and S view for student view. So that's where everybody will see the grades for students in LCPS. Now, Schoology is the official learning management system that LCPS is using this year, and all staff are using this, which is really, really nice because everything is kind of in one place for students. Now, teachers, we have the ability to tell Schoology to sync grades from Phoenix or from Schoology into Phoenix, or we could enter them manually into Phoenix ourselves. So teachers have that choice of which one they want to use. Now, that's when things are working nice, and sometimes, and you may get this or your student may get this, that Schoology is currently unavailable. It happens. It's frustrating. I know. You get frustrated, we get frustrated, everybody's frustrated by this. But alas, not to worry. Sometimes it does actually work, but then when staff go in to try to sync grades, sometimes errors pop up too. Again, super frustrating, I get it. So this occurs sometimes when teachers are trying to sync a grade that was input in Schoology to have it transfer over to Phoenix. Now eventually things will play nice and they will work, and on the staff side we'll be able to see where the sync was successful. So that's really exciting. We see that and we're like, all right, yes, the grades went from Schoology into Phoenix. Now, any of the grades from Schoology or in Phoenix, anything that is a formative does not count. And if that grade was transferred over, if it was synced from Schoology, then there's going to be an extra step that is going to be required by staff. And that is going to be to change the assignment from how it normally shows up there in Phoenix at the start of the sync to a not for grading. So I want you to take a look at homework check or notes check 9.1 here. You'll see in red here where it will say not for grading. The other assignments, which are also formatives, do not have that not for grading piece noted. So that's where teachers have to go in and manually adjust that for each individual assignment, because that part does not currently, that feature is not currently something that is available in Schoology. So staff have to go in, but what I want you to do is take a look at the student grades here. You see one student's got a grade of 66, another student's got a 0, a 73, and a 65. Oh my goodness. So yes, that causes great alarm, but when staff go in and change that and everything plays nice and works nice, then you'll see the grades change to an NA. Now, I want to caution you with this because very often students or staff or parents and guardians might take a look at that and say, well, my child is doing okay. My student is doing okay right now because there is no grade for them. But I want to caution you with that. I want to invite you to look at all of those formatives as if they were, as if they did count in the grade. For example, if a student had a 0 on a notes check, that's kind of a cause for a conversation, if you will. Because a notes check is an opportunity to see what you did, what you understood, did you take the notes properly, or, you know, for the homeworks that were checked, did you not turn in your homework assignment? Like, what's going on with that? Why did that not occur? So I would invite you to have some of those conversations with your student if you notice the formatives are not up to your level of satisfaction. Now, that way, when the summative grade goes in, whether, you know, in the old days we would call that a quiz or we would call it a test, but now the terminology has shifted in LCPS, and now we call those minor summatives and major summatives. So with that said, you know, there's opportunities before that grade that, quote, counts. So I'm using air quotes, but you can't see that. But before that grade that counts goes in the grade book, there's other opportunities that students have to show what they know along the way. There's other feedback that's given before the grades that go into the grade book that count, those minor summatives and major summatives. So please do have those conversations with your child as you notice those things. Don't just solely focus on the grade and say, oh, you don't have any grades in there, so okay, I'm okay with that. Or you do notice a grade, and you're like, okay, what is that grade really made of? So if there was a quiz on 9.1 to 9.3, you might be able to see, well, all along the way, here's what your student did. So with that said, the plan, so what Mr. Muscarella is going to do is when everything is working and syncing, and again, I'm with air quotes in that because sometimes things are down and those things happen. I can't really control those and neither can anybody else, unfortunately. But when things are working, the plan is every Friday at 4 p.m., grades are going to be synced for all classes from Schoology. Now that takes some time depending on servers and connection issues and all those types of things. So by Monday at 4, I'll go through and change any of those formal formatives to not for grading. And in that way, you'll have a better indication, and your student will have a better indication of where they stand in my class. So if there's any questions that you have about that or something's not clear, because I know that there may have been a time or two when I had not gone through and changed those formal formatives to the not for grading component, and either some parents or students were concerned because they're like, whoa, my grade is low, and I thought you said this wasn't going to count, Mr. Muscarella. And that's true. I have to go back in with that extra step. So I just wanted to make you aware of that and, ask for your grace and your patience as, we work through all of these crazy technology things that are now part of teaching and learning in LCPS. So I wanted to thank you for your time and watching these videos. But again, if there's any questions that you have, please feel free to reach out at any time. Hope you have a wonderful day, make it an amazing one, and I will speak with you again soon. Peace.